How are you doing, Calvin?
How you doing? Everything's going well. I mean, I'm loving Abu Dhabi so far.
Yeah, I see that we love your outfit. How has it been on Fight Island? How are you adjusting to the heat and to the time zone?
Yeah, you know what? The heat is not really something I'm too worried about. I mean, I grew up doing construction and yard work in this kind of weather my entire life, so it's another day. Although I am spoiled in California now these days, but I'm used to it.
And it's been a crazy year and a half for you. You know, from falling out of the title shot, and then dropping two legendary fights, great fights, and now you're trying to avoid a three-fight skid. Tell me, how has this past year and a half been for you?
Yeah, it's been it didn't go my way quite it didn't go quite my way in February. I didn't get to fight for the title where I believed I would have been world champion, but then I didn't get the fight. I didn't get the nod in April, and then lost again in November. So yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster. Um, I've had to battle some demons this off time, and you know what? Actually, this pandemic was kind of a blessing in disguise because I was able to work through that. I felt like I did fall into a little bit of depression. I did get into my feelings a little bit in my off time because of what had happened. I had a pretty tough year, but I mean, I worked through it. I had an amazing camp, and I'm ready to go for Saturday.
Yeah, and how important do you think a win is this weekend in your run for the title?
Yeah, obviously it's super important. If I want to get back to the title shot, but more than anything, I'm looking for self validation. More than anything, I want to be able to prove to myself that I'm worthy and that I do belong here and that I am one of the best middleweights in the world. And I plan to show that on Saturday.
Yeah, that actually sets up my next question is, to whom are you really dedicating this fight to? You know, this hard time all around with the pandemic, but this seems like something you're doing for yourself. Is this also dedicated to other people?
Absolutely, I have so many people that help me out back at home. My trainers, my coaches, my family, especially. They're the ones that put up with me and not seeing me for months because I'm away training. And there's so many people that help me out behind the scenes that I thank. And but like I said, yes, I am doing this for myself. At the end of the day, I'm looking for self validation, and I'm looking to prove that I'm one of the best middleweights in the world.
All right. Well, best of luck this weekend, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Next question is from Gabriel Gonzalez with Kate Side Press.
Kelvin, to go back to the outfit real quick, did you buy that at the store? Was it at the airport gift shop? Where do you get an outfit like that when everything's closed down in the bubble?
I got my ways here. I got my connections and resources down here, so don't you worry. But no, I'm kidding. I actually came last year for the Khabib fight, and me, Henry, and Kamaru, we actually ended up watching the fights with the Prince. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I just call him the Prince. And we ended up going to his house. We ended up, when we arrived, first thing they give us is these outfits, and then they tell us there's going to be a tailor. He's going to come get your measurements, and he's going to make you a tailored. I forgot what it's called, but he made us a tailored one of these suits, and they gave us like 2 or 3 of these, and I figured it should probably be a good idea to bring one.
I mean, it's going to sound silly to ask about it again, but is it comfortable? Is it cooler to wear when you're out there? Talk to me about it.
I feel great. I feel great. The fabric in this keeps me really cool, and it's really comfortable. Yeah.
You fought around the world, Brazil, you went to Australia, you were ready to go there. All this experience, but Fight Island has to be something different, right? For yourself, how do you file it in this story of your career?
Oh my God, it's probably the best event that I fought at. To be honest, I'm not just saying that. I mean the customer service, the hospitality, the details, and everything that is going on here, the security. I mean, everybody's just going above and beyond to make sure that here we fighters are well taken care of. And man, this has been the best place that I've ever fought at when it comes to the location.
It's been a few months since your fight in New York with Darren Till. A lot of people talked about that performance. Now, today, I guess, where are you at with that fight? What did you take away from that entire match?
Yeah, anybody that's seen me fight in the past and that's seen my fights knows that wasn't me at 100%. And I'd love to be able to run that one back. All credit to Darren Till. He fought a very great fight that night. But I feel like I wasn't at 100% that fight. And anybody that's seen me fight knows that. I think I'd like to be able to have a rematch with them.
That leads to my final question. Obviously, the fight is next week. Darren Till, Robert Whittaker. How do you see that one going down?
You know what? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's a coin toss. I don't know who's going to win that one.
Thank you, Kelvin.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'll keep my eye on it. That's for sure.
Next question is from Ezekiel Bergazzi with Super Luchas.
Super Luchas.
Hola Kelvin, ¿cómo estás?
¿Qué tal? ¿Todo bien?
Todo bien, te queda bien el look, está bastante bueno.
Gracias, gracias.
¿Cómo te preparaste para esta pelea por toda la pandemia y el coronavirus y eso?
La verdad es que no cambió mucho el schedule. Claro que tuvimos que mantenernos en la cuarentena unas semanas, pero la verdad es que tuve un grupo muy chiquito con los que entrené casi el tiempo entero. Y la verdad no cambió mucho, pero pues hubo que hacer unos ajustes, obviamente, pero la verdad no me afectó tanto estar fuera de durante esta pandemia.
¿Y qué estrategias tenés para enfrentarte a Jack Hermansson? ¿Qué ventajas crees que tenés contra un oponente como él?
Pues la verdad es que ¿verdad? Obviamente creo que yo puedo ganar en cualquier aspecto que se caiga la pelea. Sea en el boxeo, obviamente todos saben que me gusta boxear y la lucha, pues tengo mi cinta negra en el jiu-jitsu y también crecí luchando casi toda mi vida, pero no lo he mostrado en muchas de mis peleas, ¿no? Porque me gusta mucho boxear, pero ahí tengo esa herramienta.
El año pasado, si bien, o sea, tuviste 2 derrotas, una de ellas fue probablemente la mejor pelea de todo el año, y después tuviste esta contra Darren Till, que bueno, vos dijiste que no estabas al 100%. ¿Cómo es todo ese proceso mental de, bueno, vengo de 2 derrotas, y cómo te recompones de eso para encarar una próxima pelea, que vos dijiste que tenías que probarte algo vos mismo, ¿no? Quería que si lo podés explicar.
Sí, es que así es como me siento, ¿verdad? Tengo que probarme a mí mismo, ¿verdad? No es a la UFC, no es a todo el mundo, es a mí mismo, la verdad. Yo quiero probarme a mí mismo que pertenezco aquí encima de esta división, que pertenezco a ser uno de los mejores en el mundo y la verdad esas son las respuestas que estoy buscando para esta pelea.
¿Y cómo crees que te qué posición crees que te daría una victoria el sábado?
Yo creo que me entraría, dependiendo de cómo gane, sea una manera muy espectacular. Yo creo que me pondría otra vez en conversaciones de pelear por el título, pero obviamente hay que de nuevo subir en los rankings y es lo que planeo hacer, ¿no? Y yo creo que el primer paso es ganarle a Jack.
Bueno, mucha suerte el sábado.
Gracias.
Next question is from Damon Martin with MMA Fighting.
Hey, Kelvin. When we spoke a couple months ago, you were coming out of the knee surgery, and you told me that you probably, stepped into the Darren Till fight a little sooner than you should have, coming out of the Adesanya fight. You mentioned your mental health. Can you kind of give me a sense of, like, coming out of that, what it was like, and how you're feeling mentally going into this fight?
Yeah, 100%. I remember talking about it and telling you those exact things. And yeah, man, I had to battle some demons after coming from back-to-back losses. I feel like I fell into a little depression phase. Absolutely. It hit me hard in my life. This is my entire life for the most part. It's my career right now. And so it affected me big time. And, I had to battle my own demons and get through it and get through this little minor depression phase that I got through. And then I got injured, and then, things just weren't going my way, so there's some personal demons that I had to battle, but I eliminated those things. I conquered those demons, and here I am on the other side, well and ready to go. I'm in a really good mental and physical place, which hasn't been the case in my last two fights. But here I am.
You mentioned to me at that point, Jack Hermanson was the guy you wanted to fight. Now, at that point, we thought maybe he was going to fight Chris Weidman. There was kind of some unknowns there. How happy were you that you kind of got to call your shot there?
Yeah, pretty happy with the matchup. This is the fight that we wanted, so I was really happy and ecstatic. I think it's the perfect fight for me to get back on conversations to fight for the title. I think, obviously I have to work my way up the rankings again, but I think Jack is the number one guy on my hit list right now, and I got a couple people on it.
He's obviously had some big wins at middleweight, and there's no shame, of course, in his last loss. But what do you think of Jack, and what does he bring into this fight? And in terms of your fight, how dominant do you want to be? Like, do you want to have a kind of a showcase performance and say, "Hey, I'm back. I'm back in the title race"?
Oh, absolutely. At this point, I'm looking for self-validation. Not validation from the UFC, not validation from the rest of the world. That self-validation. I want to be able to prove to myself that I'm one of the best middleweights in the world with a dominant win. And I think I want to showcase that I am separate from the pack, and that's what I intend to do.
And my last question, I'm not going to ask you to call your shot because your focus is Jack Hermanson, but you mentioned Darren Till, that rematch you wanted, but Robert Whitaker on the other side of that fight is a fight you never got to have. We talked about it for so long. It was supposed to happen, and then it didn't happen. Is that a fight, in terms of maybe just the winner of that fight?
Oh, absolutely. I'm keeping my eyes on that fight for sure. I thought I wanted a rematch before. I've had losses in the past where I felt like Neil Magny was a fight that I wanted a rematch with, Tyron Woodley as well. But man, the feeling that I got after that Darren Till fight was unlike any other that I felt before. And I really, anybody that's seen my fights and seen me fight in the past knows that that's not me. That wasn't me fighting, and all credit to Darren Till. He had a phenomenal, great game plan that night, and he beat me fair and square. But I feel like, me at 100% mentally and physically, there's nobody in the world that can beat me.
Thank you, Kelvin.
Up next, we have Louise Green with MMA Crazy.
Hi, Kelvin. Obviously, like you were saying, the last two didn't go your way. So how important is it for you to get the win here on Saturday and get you back on track? But do you feel any pressure going into this one?
Yeah, there's a certain amount of pressure just because, I'm coming back from back-to-back losses. But at the same time, I'm not looking at validation from the UFC. I'm not looking at validation from the rest of the world. I'm looking for self-validation at this point. I want to be able to prove it to myself that I belong here and that I am one of the top middleweights in the world. And with a win over Jack, I think it'll put me back into conversations to fight for the title, and I think that's the ultimate plan for me.
And like you said, this was obviously a matchup that you wanted. What do you think you can expect to see from Hermanson on Saturday, and how do you see the fight going down?
Yeah, we're both coming off losses. We're both hungry to get back on that win column. So, man, expect a good fight between two hungry fighters, two hungry contenders that want to rise up to the rankings again. So, I'm in a really good mental and physical space at the moment. I really enjoyed the process of this camp, which hasn't been the case in the past. So I'm just feeling really good.
And your fight with Adesanya obviously was Fight of the Year back in 2019. And I know that obviously that's a fight that you want to get back. But how do you think he's going to do against Paulo Costa? How do you see that going down?
Yeah, I think it can go either two ways. I think Paulo Costa's biggest strength could be his demise. You know, he comes forward, presses the gas tank at all times, and I think if you make a mistake coming forward against Adesanya, he will find a space and put you out. And you know, I just think he's really skilled. But I think I've been in the cage with him for 25 minutes. I feel next time will be a different result next time we get in the cage together.
All right, thank you so much for the time.
And our last question is from Alfredo Bush with Claro Sports.
Kelvin, ¿cómo estás? Buen día.
Buen día, Álvaro. ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, afortunadamente. Y yo creo que también te la estás pasando muy bien por allá. Oye, platícame un poquito, ¿cómo te sientes estos meses? ¿Cómo han sido para ti la pandemia y demás? Escuchaba que te ha parecido una bendición a ti. ¿Cómo lo has vivido?
Sí, la verdad que fue una ¿cómo se dice? A blessing in disguise, una bendición descubierto, ¿verdad? Porque pues he podido aliviarme de cosas, o sea, ¿verdad? Trabajar por unos problemas que he tenido personalmente y profesionalmente, y pude trabajar esos problemas, ajustar mi vida de una manera donde estoy bien, ¿verdad? Mentalmente y físicamente estoy en un muy buen lugar, y la verdad es que me siento listo para la pelea.
Estuviste muy cerca del título, tuviste la pelea de campeonato. ¿Cómo regresar de lo que has vivido en los últimos meses, pensando y por supuesto teniendo la mira en alcanzar el cinturón?
Perdón, repíteme otra vez la pregunta.
Claro, te decía, estuviste muy cerca de conseguir el título, tuviste la pelea por el campeonato, y ahora ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo pones de nueva cuenta la mira en conseguir ese cetro?
Sí, otra vez, pues, ¿verdad? El año pasado no fue mi año, entonces creo que me fui por una fase donde me estuve deprimido, ¿no? Un poco deprimido, pero la verdad es que trabajé esos problemas, ya sobrepasé todo eso, y la verdad es que me encantó el proceso de esta pelea, el proceso de este campamento de entrenamiento. Me encantó levantarme todos los días a irme a entrenar, a hacer la dieta, a perder el peso. Me ha gustado todos los días este proceso. Entonces estoy muy bien mentalmente y físicamente, estoy en un muy buen lugar, y pues yo creo que se va a mostrar en la pelea también.
Perfecto, la última de mi parte, Kelvin, platícame un poquito, ¿cómo visualizas la pelea el sábado? ¿Cómo te la has imaginado?
Pues de muchas maneras, ¿no? Obviamente quiero ganar lo más espectacular posible, de ser, ¿verdad? En una pelea muy dominante, pero pues también se espera una guerra de 15 minutos, si ese es el caso, ¿no? Y la verdad es que siento que puedo ganar en cualquier aspecto de la pelea, sea arriba, sea abajo. Yo creo que soy mejor en cualquier lugar.
Perfecto, Kelvin, muchas gracias, mucha suerte el sábado, que te vea muy bien.
Gracias.
That's all we have for you today, Kelvin. Thank you.
Thank you.